Hey guys, I'm Profitz from Profitz.tv. Welcome to my Volume 2 of the Gold Making Series. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the ever popular LootAppraiser, making farming sexy. So just from a history, guys, I'm actually the developer of this add-on, and I actually developed it, first of all, for my own personal reasons that it saved me some time doing some post spreadsheet type work when I actually did a lot of farming. So I'd loot a bunch of actual content. I'd send it off to my alt, and I'd have bags and bags and tabs full of inventory. And I never really knew the value until I used Trade Skill Master and so forth at the point in time where I actually either hovered over the item with my mouse, which showed me the tooltips that Trade Skill Master does incredibly well, or I actually went to the auction house using Trade Skill Master and actually went to post the items. So all the time I would actually do some spreadsheet work and actually export the information of what I actually looted into spreadsheets by item value, and then use automatic data feeds for like wowauction.com to be able to populate the name of it, how much is on the auction house, and so forth. And I kind of got tired to be able to get to a looted item value of what actually I was doing and which locations produced what type of transmog and what was the value of those over time. So I started getting into coding. The World of Warcraft add-on development is done in a programming language called Lua, L-U-A. So again, I am not a developer. This is my first attempt at an add-on, and I'm very honored to actually say, as of this actual video, it now has 11,558 total downloads, and that is as of January 9th, 2015. So again, I'm honored to be able to share this with you, and most importantly, to be able to get those screenshots from you guys continually at Profitz on Twitter. And amazing to be able to see all the loot that you actually got as well. So keep up the good work, guys. So this tutorial is going to be talking specifically about LootAppraiser and how to actually install it and how to actually work with the add-on and what do the different features mean. So my first attempt is showing you, so how do you actually install LootAppraiser and what are the requirements? So because LootAppraiser is dependent upon prices from Trade Skill Master, it is recommended, if you want to use my add-on, you need to install Trade Skill Master, which is available at tradeskillmaster.com. I'm going to bring down the web browser and show you that information here. So tradeskillmaster.com, and you'll need two things from this website. You'll need the WoW add-on, which is located right here, and you will need the desktop application. The desktop application, which it also has a video on, you can check into the playlist on my YouTube site. This is the actual desktop application, which actually keeps your pricing up to date based upon the realms that you set up. If you do not have this set up, watch my other video to get the complete setup of the Trade Skill Master desktop application. The WoW add-on, if you click on Learn More, again from tradeskillmaster.com, I highly recommend, instead of actually installing all the individual modules individually, I would highly recommend clicking on the actual suite of add-ons right here, which is downloadable again from Curse. Click on that. It'll bring you to Curse, and then it will actually have all the actual 13 modules included, and you can just go through the install process to get that done. Once you actually have all of Trade Skill Master installed and all of the desktop application completely installed and your realm set up, again, you can actually watch that video if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, then you can actually install LootAppraiser. LootAppraiser can be downloaded and installed from Curse if you do a search for LootAppraiser, or curse.com/addons/wow/LootAppraiser. And then you can actually install it from here, or if you actually use the Curse client, you can actually install it from the Curse client as well, just by typing in LootAppraiser. Once those add-ons are actually installed and it's functional, the next time that you log into game, by the way, I'm sure you know this, but make sure that your client is completely shut down when you install add-ons to make sure that it's properly loaded on the next time that you log in without any issues. So when you log into World of Warcraft, you will now notice this little pile of gold that's over here. In a future version, I will put a tooltip that tells you that it's LootAppraiser. So there's a couple ways you can open up LootAppraiser. One, it will open automatically and prompt you the first time that you kill a mob. So let's fly down here. I'm currently in one of my favorite farming spots in Stone Talon Mountains. And we're just going to kill one of these mobs. And notice when I kill it and I actually loot it, LootAppraiser props up an actual window. This is very important to answer this window. Don't ignore it, because it's legitimately, if you want to use LootAppraiser, you have to answer it, and it will then bring up its user interface. If you hit no, LootAppraiser will not prompt you again unless you use the minimap or the actual / commands to launch LootAppraiser. If you answer yes, notice now the actual UI opens. And notice there's actually 3 actual segments or UIs to LootAppraiser. There's actually the main window, which drives all of the actual management of what you're going to do, your prices and so forth, which we'll get into shortly. And then you have these 3 smaller windows that actually keep track of what you're seeing in game, what your gold alert or your highest amount of items being looted, your current gold amount being looted, and so forth. So let's get into the details of LootAppraiser. The first thing you want to know is LootAppraiser works off of, again, Trade Skill Master price sources. If you are actually killing stuff and it doesn't show up in this window, the first thing you want to check is to ensure that you have LootAppraiser set up. So notice when I kill these mobs and I actually loot, notice there's now items that are appearing in here and values based upon what I actually just killed and looted. If you do not get this off of the first kill, your first step is going back and watching my videos on the creating of the desktop application for Trade Skill Master and installing the add-ons. Very, very important, guys. I don't know how many times I get questions on LootAppraiser's not showing values. Make sure that you're properly setting up that desktop application. That's key. So watch that video. As you can see, I have, first of all, a price source drop down. And these are all the actual prices available to you based upon Trade Skill Master. So you have auction DB prices, you have vendor sell prices, and you have WoW auction prices. These are 2 price sources that you can actually pull from. And you can also pull from whether you want to use global data or local realm or market value data. And the same thing for WoW auction, whether you want to use a local market or some of the regional markets like globals. All you have to do is click on the price. I typically default the application to Auction DB Global Market Value because it's actually a more controlled, more likely to be accurate price source than Realm or Auction DB, because people can actually inflate the prices by just overlisting it, which would throw off the add-on and kind of give you a false sense of what you're actually looting for value. The next is a dock and a layout button, so you can actually hit dock, and it basically puts this in the upper left-hand corner for now. Eventually, I'm working on an updated UI, which will actually shrink it down or move it around so you can actually do anything you want with it instead of having another box. So you can move this any way you want, and then to open it back up, just hit close again, and that will re-expand it. So dock, and then close, dock, close, dock to close it. And then when it's closed like this, click close and it'll actually reopen it. If perchance something messes up, you can hit the layout button, which will actually continue to resize back to the normal frame size. And then the loot collected window is actually just what you actually looted. This will be a continuing scrolling list with the last item always showing at the top. And then based upon your price source that you select up here, will determine actually what your actual price will be here. So notice that I received a ding if you saw that, and then now these smaller windows are actually populated. These smaller windows work off of 2 things. One, this is called the actual gold alert threshold bar right here. What this does is it basically works off of this gold alert down here, which is in gold. So if I set this to 100 and I click OK, anything that I actually loot now that's worth more than 100 gold or more will appear in this bar and will give me a ding. So let's see if we can kill something real quick. Nothing there. Notice I'm keeping the window open. This is a great place to farm, by the way, guys. I will have a video covering this as well. This is in Stone Talon Mountains. It's a great place to get silk cloth too if you have the scavenger buff. Very cool. Alright, I killed all these. So I'm going to go to the next spot over here. These guys respawn very fast. So we're going to fly up, fly over to this section over here. We'll kill all these. We'll drop the lovely starfall. People like to farm in their boomkins. Do the loot. And absolutely nothing. Imagine that. And you can continue to kill them. So here's again a great spot. Look at all the people you can actually kill. And notice too, while I'm actually gathering, notice that I am getting gray items too. A part of this loot appraiser is also the ability to filter out actually what you want to receive or what you want to have appraised in LootAppraiser. Let's say I don't want to see grays. I can actually just move this slide bar, or I can just change this number right here. So if I move it to 2, now anything that's common or above will now show in that window, excluding gray items. We'll kill a couple more just to show you. Notice too that LootAppraiser also publishes down in your actual window the ability to be able to show you and price actual items looted as well as in this window here. So you don't necessarily have to keep this open. In fact, I say don't keep it open, just dock it. You can actually look for stuff down here, and this will actually give you the visual alert as soon as we find something that's above 100 gold. And I'll actually set this for the purposes of this area to 5 gold just so we can get through this rather quickly. So there's the actual ding. It was above 100 gold anyway, so I could have left it. So notice that we heard that ding, and now the actual item is changed to what this is based upon the gold alert threshold that we set down here. So it's kind of cool and it's kind of addicting because we all love to hear that ding, knowing that, hey, we now just looted something of some significant value. Notice also too that because I changed the common on the filter, that I'm no longer seeing any gray items since the last time that I looted. Didn't change the filter. So that's LootAppraiser's filter option up here, and you can change the price source, by the way, at any time. So let's say I no longer want to have global auction market value. I want to go to actually realm value, or actually tell me what it is to do actual sale price. What's the actual average sale price of these items globally? You can do that as well. You can do historical value. You can do minimum buyout. You can do, hey, what is all this stuff if I just wanted to vendor it? You can do that as well. And you can change this anytime, and at the time that you change it, your price source will now be changed on the next time that you loot automatically. So there's another ding, melon juice, 14 gold. How beautiful people are trying to sell melon juice for 14 gold, but exactly what it is. So, and then you can actually use LootAppraiser and Trade Skill Master's tooltips here. So it shows me that, yeah, I got 14 gold for melon juice. No way it's 14 gold for melon juice. You can buy it from a vendor. Well, because of my price source, I can actually look at global market value. And in fact, my realm is showing it for 1444 gold. Who would buy it? I have no idea. Sometimes you'll see prices like that kind of go strange. And they're realistic prices because people are actually buying white items, vendor foods like that. I do sell white items all the time from vendors. I call it white gold because you can go skip to a vendor, pick up the actual content, go to the auction house and make a profit pretty decently. I actually have that on my website if you guys are interested in that. Feel free to check that out as well. Profitz.tv. Another cool feature of this add-on is the ability to be able to keep track of looted item value. So here's the actual small window. So if we don't have this open, we actually can see the looted item value here. Notice this looted item value. So let me take a minute to explain this. It's not gold per hour. Gold per hour is such a widely misused term, and it's completely inaccurate. So I termed a phrase called looted item value because that's exactly what it is. What this means is it's not liquid or raw gold that I actually acquired just by looting out here for a couple of minutes. It actually means it's the value of my bags, the looted item value of my bag's content, appraised value. So this doesn't mean anything unless I actually take action upon the items that are in my bag, whether I'm going to trade them, disenchant them, vendor them, auction them, whatever I'm going to do. If you go to the auction house, then this value could possibly be, I call it a swag. It's plus 20 or minus 20% of this value. So you can go as low as 20% or 20% on top, or even higher, depending on which realm you're actually on. So never think when I talk about looted item value that this actually means that I actually have 1,880 gold liquid, which I mean liquid is actually your liquid gold or your raw gold in your bag. It means that's actually the gold amount that you have. This is an appraised value of items and their potential worth based upon the price source that you actually select within the add-on, which is a Tradesco Master pricing source. So it is extremely possible to sell transmog items. I sell all the time. I'm a transmog farmer, and I sell thousands upon thousands of gold and transmogs on a daily basis without any issues. So don't think that transmogs don't sell. They are not a fast seller. So let me tell you this, that the things that you're actually going to be looting if you're a transmog farmer will not sell fast. I actually say the average time it takes to sell one transmog piece, depending on the value of the actual piece, is about a listing time of 5 to 10 times on the auction house. So transmog is a patience game, but it also is a rewarding game. So going back to LootAppraiser here, we have looted item value, which shows the same as this window, this light version. We have currency looted, which also keeps track of the amount of raw gold. This is the raw gold that we've actually looted so far. And then it shows us the amount of items we looted. So far we've looted 83 items. We have 107, which keeps track of your bag space, 107 bag space, empty slots left. And then we've looted 7 noteworthy items. So 7 items that dinged based upon what our actual gold alert threshold was set at. In version 8.5, which is going to be out shortly, I'm actually running the latest version in my testing, not released yet. You're running on, at the time of this broadcast, 0.80. I've actually implemented a way to actually disable the actual notifications down here in the bottom. So sometimes people don't want add-ons that get a little too chatty if they're specifically wanting only certain items to be displayed or certain notifications to be in their actual box down at the bottom for notifications. So if I implemented that to actually be able to do just that, if I actually uncheck this and then I loot something, notice now none of it actually went at the bottom minus the actual default generic message. You don't no longer see LootAppraiser and the same information because the default Blizzard will give it to you. They just won't give you the price. So that's up to you if you want to actually disable that or not. Just completely, again, putting the control in your hands as a gold maker to be able to do anything you want to do at the point of doing that. So then I can enable it back on the fly without any problems. I'm going to set this back up to 100 gold. And you can set it up to as high as you want, and then you'll only get that audible alert based on the items you loot, and then this will only change based upon the item that you actually looted. So let's see if we can actually get some looted stuff real quick. Again, this is a very awesome spot that I farm on in Stone Talon Mountains. You can see my coordinates here. It's in the lower right-hand corner of Stone Talon. If you check out my website and check out my stream, I stream on Twitch, Hitbox, YouTube, and Gaming.tv, both Profitz.tv. At the end of those, you can actually do ! farm, and I'll actually bring up an imager album of actually the locations that I farm and share with people, which are pretty profitable. Out of this one spot alone, I pulled over 100,000 looted item value in an hour. It was about an hour and 5 minutes. 105,000 looted item value, not raw gold again. Looted item value. If you go to Profitz.tv, I have a post up there talking about GPH, gold per hour, what it is, what it isn't, and how accurate looted item value is as a better term. So there is. We'll stop right there. So Sanguine Mantle, 897 golds. Again, that brings our total up to 2,946 gold, 63 silver, 22 copper, less than 13 minutes, and that's stopping and talking. And again, looted item value is pretty amazing from here. And also going back to LootAppraiser, you have a couple buttons at the bottom. You have an actual clear button, which will actually clear the entire cycle that you have here. It'll clear your values and everything, the timer. If I hit clear, notice everything resets, which is good if you're doing multiple runs and you're doing testing out different instances, raids, farming locations in the map. That's awesome to actually use. I use that a lot. You also have a gray button, so if you do per chance have a vendor, I will show you this at my vendor right here. Once I break combat, I'll open up my beautiful Tundra mount, probably the best mount that I ever bought in game, because I can do this, just this. I can open up and then actually use my gray button to actually vendor my grays. Or if I'm out of space and I can't open my mount, let's say I'm in a raid, deep in a raid, and your mount is not accessible, you also have the ability to trash your grays to free bag space. So if I sort my bags, by the way, the UI I'm using is called Super Villain, which is available from Curse as well. Highly recommend it. It's an awesome UI for World of Warcraft, and I just love it. It has that comic book feel, allows you to do anything you want with your UI, move frames around and so forth, and just like LVUI or LUI or whatever you're using. So if I want to trash stuff, notice all these little coins. That's gray items that I can trash. I can just hit trash, and notice it just removed them from my bags automatically. So space is critical, but if you do have the ability to sell your grays, I highly, highly, highly recommend selling your grays through a local vendor or in purchasing yourself a Tundra mount, which is available in Dalaran. Based upon your reputation, it can go anywhere from 17 to 20,000 without rep. Highly recommend it. So that's LootAppraiser, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at Profitz on Twitter. Feel free to send me an email, wildprofits@gmail.com. Stop in my streams. You can get all of that information from profitz.tv. Again, that's www.profitz.tv. This is the actual website it looks like. It will actually forward to wildprofits.com, so you can go to either one directly that you want. I just released a video on gold making, which is talking about Trade Skill Master version 3, so definitely check that out. There's some information on transmog pieces. There's my post that I talked about that I posted on February 19th about gold per hour, what it is it real, farming Azeroth. Definitely a site you want to check out. So thank you for your time, guys. Hopefully you enjoy this video, and I will see you next time. Again, I'm Profitz from Profitz.tv. Happy gaming, and more importantly, happy earning.